to Punk's Talk Wrestling! On this episode, we find out who was right and who was surprised as we celebrate our Punk's Talk Wrestling Slammiversary and talk about everything that's happened in this year's SummerSlam. I am R.W. Hellborn, the PA Rock Prince, hailing quote-unquote from Philly! And I am one half of the Crown, which is one half of your Punk's Talk Wrestling Inter-Universal Tag Team Podcast Champion hosts of the world! Now, then, forever by my side, 3,500 miles away in London, England. He is my tag team podcast partner. He is the other half of the Crown, which is the other half of your Punk's Talk Wrestling Inter-Universal Tag Team Podcast Champion host of the world, Mr. Did You Know? Sir King of Reels, the proper prick, C.J. Newman!
Did you know that a few weeks ago we were talking about who is Mr. SummerSlam? And I mentioned Brock Lesnar. Well, how's this for a fact? Brock Lesnar has main evented 9 SummerSlams out of the possible 37. Not only that, between 2014 and 2019, a 6-year period, Brock Lesnar main evented all 6 of those SummerSlams. He main evented SummerSlam for 6 years in a row. How about that? So,
how about that?
Pretty good, contest there to say that he is Mr. SummerSlam.
Mr. SummerSlam. That was a poll that we put up on our Instagram a while back. Was it not?
Yeah, and I don't know if I actually checked the results of that. So let me look into that.
Yeah.
Let me have a look. I always struggle to find these things, but I will definitely find it. I didn't put a poll up. I put a question up. I should have put a poll. That's my own fault.
That's why. Oh, well. Well, we'll never know.
We'll never know. But
I'm pretty
strong contest.
But yeah, I mean, it's pretty. Yeah, I mean, that's a lot.
That is a lot.
Whew. All right.
How's about we talk about SummerSlam, motherfucker?
Yeah.
2024 SummerSlam. Also, I did notice they promoted it as SummerSlam Cleveland this year, which is they added the Cleveland in the logo, which I think is something they'll probably do moving forward.
Colin Cleveland.
Yeah,
I mean, I think they were doing that.
They did it for a few other pay-per-views this year, or PLEs this year.
Right, they did it for, like, Backlash France.
Yeah, exactly.
Well, no, Backlash, it was distinctly not, there was no colon. It was just Backlash France.
Oh, weird.
But I think you're right. I've seen...
Yeah, they've been doing it a lot more. Yeah.
They used to do it at NXT.
They did. Yeah, well,
you know,
look who's in charge.
Because that's what it was. Yeah, because with TakeOver.
Yeah,
it was always TakeOver, colon, whatever city they were in.
Yeah.
Interesting.
It was the 37th annual SummerSlam, and it took place on Saturday, August 3rd, 2024, this past weekend at the Cleveland Browns Stadium in Cleveland, Ohio. It was the second SummerSlam to emanate from Cleveland, and the first time being 1996, which was held at the Gund Arena, now known as the Rocket Mortgage Fieldhouse. And, of course... And and it was hosted by The Miz. Another interesting note is this was the first SummerSlam held after WWE merged with Endeavor under the banner of TKO. And it would be the final SummerSlam to live stream on the standalone WWE network, which is set to close markets. So yeah, that's all we. Cleveland Brown Stadium announced attendance of 57,791 people, which was the highest attendance for a SummerSlam. Well, highest attendance for a domestic SummerSlam.
Yes,
because obviously they did SummerSlam in Wembley Stadium in 1992, and it was about 30,000 more than that. So
yep, it is. They very specifically stated.
Yeah.
That.
But yeah, highest domestic SummerSlam, highest attendance for a domestic SummerSlam. We don't have any personnel yet for you to go through, so I suppose.
Holy shit, you're right.
Oh no, we do. Scroll
down,
we
do. It's down. It's just down further. There was so much more. Sometimes Wikipedia puts it directly in the same column.
And for some reason, you've randomly got a Japanese commentator, just randomly.
Yeah, we do. Let's go. That's
weird.
Let's see what we've got. Yeah, here is who we've got. Hosted by The Miz, which you had mentioned in the synopsis. We had a special musical opening guest with Jelly Roll. Jelly Roll is big on the wrestling circuit right now. I mean, WWE loves him right now.
Yeah, you know what? Getting into that
everybody
real
loves
quick
him right now.
It was the first
everybody
thing,
loves Jelly Roll.
Like, I wasn't mad. That was actually a decent musical performance for a wrestling show. The crowd
say
actually
so.
seemed into it, and like, it was pretty cool where they throwed in like the video package with the actual live performance.
You certainly wouldn't have been able to tell by some of the dumb comments that some people made online about it. But yeah, I thought it was nice. Anyway, English commentators: Michael Cole, Corey Graves, and Pat McAfee. Mm-hmm. Pat McAfee pack available is the DLC 3-pack in 2K24.
Yeah,
that's out right now.
Already
available right
out,
now. Yeah, it was available July 31st, so it'll be available forever. Pat McAfee, Ty Schmidt, Boston Connor, JJ Hawk, Darius Butler are in there, and a football you can kick people in the head with.
But what's there not to love? Huh?
Yeah, fucking get it. Highest rated 2K WWE game in all of history. Shout out Alan 2K Games. Spanish commentators Marcelo Rodriguez and Jerry Soto. Japanese commentator Naomichi Marufuji.
No idea why he's on there.
Naomichi Marufuji. Tell me if I pronounce it anywhere close. Naomichi Marufuji. I'm going to go with that. Ring announcer Samantha Irvin. Referees Jason Ayers, Dan Engler, Daphne LeSean, Eddie Orengo, who also doesn't have his own Wikipedia page.
I can let that go because Eddie Orengo is pretty new. So
yeah, Seth freaking Rollins as the special guest referee in CM Punk versus Drew McIntyre match, and referee Ryan Tran, who also does not have his own Wikipedia page yet. Mm-hmm. Shout out to Wikipedia and the people that make those pages. Get some pages for Eddie Orengo, Chad Patton, and Ryan Tran.
But mainly Chad Patton.
Interviews by Kathy Kelly and Byron Saxton. I love seeing Smiling Byron back. Pre-show panel, we had Jackie Redmond, Big E, Wade Barrett, Pete Rosenberg, and X-Pac.
Yeah, look at that.
Also, shout out to Jackie Redmond's confidence. But there it is. There is your on-screen personnel rundown.
Yeah.
For this year's SummerSlam.
So going into the first match, I suppose.
Going right in. Women's World Championship match.
Yeah, I was about to say second longest. It certainly wasn't. It was the fourth longest. But yeah, with a time of 15 minutes and 55 seconds, we had Liv Morgan versus Rhea Ripley, which went pretty much exactly as the way I thought it would.
Yeah.
So,
it did. It went exactly how Danny the Brain called it as well.
Yeah.
But after we'll see later, and once we heard it
with
explained
Raw,
on Raw,
it all makes sense.
It all makes sense. Anyway, Liv Morgan wins with the help of Dirty Dom turning on Rhea.
Yeah, it was great. It was good to see Rhea Ripley back in the ring for the first time since WrestleMania, which is wild.
Yeah.
So that was her first singles match back, first match in general back from injury. And I thought You know what? Like, I'm not saying I didn't believe in Liv Morgan before now, but this match solidified her to me as a main event female talent in the company.
Yes.
I mean, there's a storyline with the three of these, like with Dirty Dom and Rhea and Morgan, like that. It's been a fucking great storyline. They've done such a good job of telling it.
Yeah.
I mean, honestly, for the most part, held up by Morgan and Dominic for the last couple of months because Rhea's not been around. So
yeah, and it's good. It's good that they have the faction to lean on with it. Like, that's why we all love factions, because it allows for multiple things like this. And it's totally why you can see why factions didn't work back in the Attitude Era of faction warfare, because it was just, we're a faction, you're a faction, now we're fighting because we're factions. There wasn't
pretty much,
There were no
there were very few occasions where it made sense.
Yeah.
But the way, man, there's so much dynamic going on with all of these factions. There's so many moving parts. It's great that, you know, it's like back in the day you used to have like a faction like in a rivalry with either one person or one faction, but
it was usually the lead. It was the head guy.
Yeah, whoever's he's got beef with would be. Yeah, but with now it's like there's multiple rivalries going on with everyone in the group, and it's
every single person has their own story,
had their own thing. It just,
has
like,
their
for
own
example,
piece.
Yeah,
even Carlito, the part Carlito has in the Judgment Day right now.
Yeah,
is great. And I mean, obviously we're going to see some other, he was brought in specific, there's going to be more connections obviously, but I guess with him and Finn as to why that was, because he was brought in by Finn. Everyone's character has purpose and has meaning. No one, they're not just another guy in there, you know.
And what I love also is, like, obviously now the Judgment Day is split, and, you know, Rhea and Damien are out. But the thing is, even heels now make good points, because the whole point of Judgment Day was there were no leaders.
Yeah,
when they kicked Edge out of the faction, it was like, there are no leaders. We're all equals. And Finn posted a picture on his Instagram of the new Judgment Day, basically with Liv Morgan without Rhea and Damien.
Yeah.
And he captioned it with basically saying that no leaders, all equal, basically. So, and that's great. Like, he's getting back to the basics of the Judgment Day, and he makes a good point. Basically, Rhea and Damian Priest got too big and too popular to be in a faction like that anymore. They were seen as the leaders, and Finn Balor was not. And this is great. This is great for Finn Balor, because he's, you know, I know he says all equals, but we're all going to see Finn Balor as the leader. And it's great because Finn can have a bit of a main event run now. He can be seen as a main eventer after this. It's once again, it's someone getting over and putting someone up, someone up with them. And that's what we've consistently seen in this Triple H era, is people getting over and then putting someone else up to the top with them.
And definitively they put over Rhea and Damien as the faces. Like, that's you hit the nail right on the head. It's logical from the story perspective. It's logical from the business side of it, and it's logical from the perspective of Finn Balor's character. He's righteous in how he sees it. He's not wrong. Like you said, he's not wrong. He's just, not lawful good. It's not good. Yeah, he's not a good guy.
Yeah, what's great is, like,
they're heels. Like,
in the past, if someone, that didn't watch wrestling and asked me to explain a storyline, it was so easy to explain a storyline back here about 10 years ago, say. It was so easy to go, oh, he doesn't like him because of this. Now, I I can't explain to someone with the whole Cody Rhodes Solo Sikoa situation without bringing up The Rock, Roman Reigns, Jimmy Uso, Jey Uso, Paul Heyman.
And I have to like go a Game of Thrones.
I have to go all the way back to fucking 2020 to explain a fucking match to someone.
Yep.
I love it. It's like there's so many dynamics and moving parts now that it is much more than just pro wrestling. It's a lot more Game of Thrones mixed with pro wrestling.
Yeah, so. and this has always been where WWE has set itself apart. Because they've treated the business differently than the other territories did, than the other companies do now.
Yeah.
They treat it differently, and that's why they're looked at differently, and that's why they're always it's why they're always separate. It's they're working with TNA, and they're working with other companies.
Companies, yeah.
But it's the way they're presenting. It's the way they present their product.
Yeah.
And that's what sets them apart. The way, like we've said with TNA presents its product, so that's a TNA product. It's
right.
It's like when you hear a band and you hear that they've got their sound or they've got their signature rhythm. When you hear AC/DC that it's AC/DC.
Yeah.
When you hear Motorhead that it's Motorhead. Like there's and WWE as a presentation. This is what they do. This is exactly what they do.
Yeah, exactly.
That keeps them apart from everybody else.
Yeah.
Anyway, that was
moving on. We got Braun Breaker versus Sami Zayn Intercontinental Championship.
I think we all called
short match.
Very short. It should have been.
Yeah, and you're right, and it should have been. Yeah.
This was perfectly told. This was exactly. I think they did it to perfection, having Braun lose the first one.
Yeah.
Let him play on that. Oh yeah, man, I totally just, maybe I took you for granted. Maybe I just wasn't taking you seriously. Now I'll take you seriously and I'll just whoop your fucking ass from the start and get it over and done with. New Intercontinental Champion, Braun Breaker. I mean, there's nothing to say about it. We knew they had to do this. They needed.
Yeah, we're gonna see
for a number of reasons.
A meteoric rise with this guy, man. He's 26 years old, man.
But
we were talking last week's episode about WWE champions that have the last guy to win the WWE championship that was under the age of 30 was Bray Wyatt in 2016. So Braun Breaker's going to be that next guy, 100%. He's going to be the next guy to win the title before he's 20 years old. Before he's 30 years old.
Maybe. I mean, I wouldn't.
We're talking 4 years. There's no way he's not winning that title in 4 years.
Listen. No, there's plenty of ways. There's plenty of ways for him to not win that title in 4 years. But we won't get into that because that's 4 years. I'm just. Would I be? I wouldn't be surprised. No, I wouldn't be surprised if he's a world champion in under 4, before he's 30. But I wouldn't call that a sure bet either, just because we can see people get stuck at the mid card.
Yeah.
And not necessarily stuck at the mid card, just become so good in the mid card that they have to remain there, or just because the other shit going on around them, it's just not their time yet. Yeah,
you never know. You never know. And plus, like with Braun Breaker, what I see with him, I see very similar qualities in. I'm not comparing him to Brock Lesnar, but there's a very similar vibe to him and Brock Lesnar when Brock Lesnar first came to the main roster.
Sure, that undeniable intensity.
It's intensity on a whole different fucking level. Like, yeah, it's a next level compared to anyone else on the roster, and he's got Paul Heyman's blessing as well, which is quite a blessing to have. So if you never know, we could see those two pair up somewhere down the line as well. You never know. So
yeah, I also think it's just brilliant that they took the belt off Sammy now. It was a perfect time for him because We can speculate a little bit after this, but I'm pretty sure he's going to be busy with some old business. Soon.
Potentially. He's also got a stand-up comedy career to tend with as well.
I guess he's doing that.
I think he's got a few dates that he needs to. So I think also he probably just wants a bit of time off. So, but I do see him. I definitely do agree. I think we'll see him around.
Oh yeah, I think
Survivor
we'll see him.
Series sometime.
I think we'll see him, and I think we'll see him on. Yeah, we'll probably see him on SmackDown.
Yeah.
They've already broken it on Raw, having Randy Orton show up.
Yeah, I think that's for two reasons. I think. Well, we also had A-Town Down Under was on Raw as well.
But
I think that was because everyone was in Baltimore after SummerSlam, so it just made sense.
Yeah. Also the storyline with Orton and Gunther, that makes sense.
Total sense.
And it's a perfect. I mean, that just is genius because.
Yeah, you want to solidify a Gunther, then that's the perfect way of doing it.
Exactly, and Randy's not even on Raw.
Yeah.
So he can get beat by Gunther, go back to SmackDown, continue dealing with his bloodline stuff that he's still stuck involved. Well, I guess he's still involved with for now. We don't. We'll find out on Friday. Anyway, 5 minutes 40 seconds. Braun Breaker, new IC champion.
Beautiful. Next up, amazing as well. Like a bar one match, it was 6 title matches and 1 grudge match for this pay-per-view, which is great.
This is basically SummerSlam Night of Champions.
Yeah, pretty much. LA Knight defeated Logan Paul.
Yeah.
Machine Gun Kelly in Logan Paul's corner, which was interesting. This was a fucking great match, man.
That was an awesome match.
Again, it's one I say every time, but you can say whatever you like, and I'd probably agree with you about Logan Paul, but between the ropes, he's fucking great. He just is, and it's the right time. Yeah,
it was the right time. He can come. He can show up again at Royal Rumble. And
I think that'd be a wise decision. Yeah.
He can still come back at any point and just be like, yeah, I'm here to check this off my box.
Yeah, And that springboard moonsault he did to the outside was unfucking believable.
Dude, I 100%. There was a split second that I thought he was going to slip and die.
Yeah, it just nimble, man. So nimble on his feet.
Yeah.
Unfucking real.
Yep. The dude's good. But LA Knight, new U.S. champion.
Yep.
So fucking good.
Yeah, definitely deserves that. And I just clicked on his name and I see that his name was Deuce. And I was like, was he part of Deuce and Domino?
Who?
But LA Knight.
Oh.
But he wasn't. No. It's just that's just an old wrestling name. We're good.
Wow, he was called Deuce.
Yeah, it was not only that, he had another name, Dick Rick.
All right.
Yeah.
Yeah.
What a name. LA Knight, New Year's champion. Next up, we had Nia Jax versus Bayley for the women's championship.
Another great idea, great story.
Yeah.
As much as I love Bayley, I also agree. I agree that whether it was by choice, by design, or an unfortunate circumstance, there's the story building of Bayley's not getting her dues. Bayley's not getting what she deserves.
Yeah.
She won the women the Royal Rumble. She didn't get a main event at WrestleMania. People have criticized her run, and to some I can understand. Others I won't. I won't.
Yeah.
I'll say that's just being overly critical, but this was perfect. It was a perfect time. Give her a little time off. Let her recharge, reboot, reemerge as like full-time hugger mode or whatever you want to do. Give her a little fresh coat of paint.
Yeah. And
the story with Nia Jax, I think she's
I wouldn't bring back Hugger Bayley, but I would bring back. I would bring back pre-Damage Control, the whole ding dong hello annoying Bayley. That was great. like when she did the Ding Dong Hello show and stuff like that. She
Yeah.
was so fucking annoying. She had a bit of a Karen character, but
Yes,
she
she
was
did.
fucking. It was really good, really good, and I think she was really over with the crowd then.
That was some prime Bailey,
Yeah, but it's great. I mean, Nia Jax has most certainly improved a lot since her return, so it's good to see her as champion. And we got a cool dynamic now because I think it's one of the first times that they've done it where the Money in the Bank holder and the champion are friends. Obviously, I feel like Tiffy is going to be turning on Nia at some point.
Yeah, I think we're gonna see. I think we're gonna see the Tiffy. I think we're gonna see the Tiffy is tired of Nia's abuse at some point.
Yeah, but we could see. Yeah, I guess in a way you could get a Tiffy face turn out of this.
I think so. I think we're gonna see that because people love her, and it's hard to hate. It's hard to hate her because she's so good.
Yeah.
So you've got to put her in that same weird area of you're not a baby face, but you're definitely not a typical heel.
Right. Exactly. Yeah. Yeah.
You're just good. And she's just good.
Yeah.
Perfect timing for everything. I love, like you said, love the dynamic between them. 12 minutes and 30 seconds. New women's WWE Women's Champion Nia Jax.
Yeah. Next up, we got fucking one of my favorite matches of the night: Drew McIntyre versus CM Punk.
Yeah.
Seth Rollins is the special referee. CM Punk's first singles match back on television since his return. So his first singles match in the WWE for, I don't know, 10 years, whatever.
Well, except for the Madison Square Garden match.
Well, televised.
Yeah, televised. Yeah.
Yeah.
But they were distinctively saying first match back for first singles match. They did not say televised. I think they were either just ignoring it or maybe unintentionally. I don't know.
Yeah. But what a fucking story told, man. So good. And, the moment that Drew McIntyre took that bracelet out, like, that's where the match really started to kick in with Seth Rollins. Like, Seth Rollins genuinely innocently picking up that bracelet.
Oh, yeah. That was
to keep it safe. It was fucking great. CM Punk going up with the GTS, looking down and going, like, what the fuck are you doing wearing that?
Yeah.
It was just great. It was so well done.
It was extremely well done, and I know that, and I guess they had to do it for storyline purpose. I guess, but why wouldn't he have just like, oh, you're up now. Here, take the fucking bracelet. Like, why wouldn't he have just immediately? I see you see me have me on. Here, take it.
Yeah,
over and done.
I guess the way you would look at it is that Seth Rollins fucking hates CM Punk. And even though he might have innocently picked it up and put it on, he doesn't like CM Punk, so he wants to just be a dick to him.
Right.
So,
now it's just like, no, man, I picked it up to keep it safe. You're being an asshole. Pay attention to the fucking match.
Yeah.
Yeah, I get that. That works. See, that works.
There you go.
It works. It's logical.
But it's just great. Seeing these three guys just be dicks to each other is fantastic. Yeah. And, how have we not mentioned this yet? The fucking referee cam.
Oh, yeah. Oh, God.
I don't know if you remember. I don't know what pay-per-view this was, but we watched a really old pay-per-view from like the 80s, right?
I'm pretty sure it was the Battle Royal at Royal Albert Hall that had it.
I don't know. I feel like it was an old... It was in WCW. I remember Nick Patrick wearing it.
You're right. No, it was WCW Fall Brawl? Was it Fall Brawl 93?
It's gotta be Fall Brawl, yeah.
Yeah. It's got to be episode 15, Fall Brawl 1993 from November. Shout out to us earlier episodes.
Yeah, I mean, it was fucking great to, see. I'm trying to find the actual.
But that ref cam was, let's mount a full size camera on top of a motorcycle helmet. Yeah. So the perspective was like way off. This was
It's perfect. It's literally eye level. Like,
this one was eye level and probably technologically advanced enough that it had some sort of stabilization. Not much. Although, also, did you notice you didn't see much of the ref cam?
Well, so I read a little read up about that earlier. So I just noticed, by the way, so WCW called it the referee.
Yes, they called it the referee. That was fucking
very good.
terrible.
Well done.
Yeah.
So yeah, they didn't use it much. It's obviously very new technology, and apparently they were planning on using it a lot more in the Drew Punk match. But at some point during the match, the battery pack apparently fell out of CM Punk's camera.
Drew's camera, or Seth's camera.
Seth's camera, so therefore they had to just abandon it. And apparently it seems like backstage there was a discussion beforehand about that possibly happening. And basically if it did happen, to just abandon it. There's no point wandering around for a fucking battery while you've got a match going on.
Yeah, because you could see definitively when he pulled it off and it was just like, well, this is over.
Yeah, it's like, it's new tech, and like I think, you know, the refs, if it's a thing that gets used more often, the refs are going to have to get used to positioning themselves in certain ways to
get their angle,
to get a decent shot. But obviously without actually seeing what you're shooting, it's difficult. So I think, you know, we'll see if it picks up or not. Obviously they're doing it, you know, there's a lot of sports out there now that have referee cams, and I think it totally does make sense for, you know, to have it, especially with WWE where they're making such calls in such close proximity, so it makes sense.
Well,
but
because you know they're going to use it in a let's go back and look to prove that the referee wasn't in position or couldn't see a shoulder down or something, or couldn't see someone tapping out. Yeah, they're going to 100% use it in a storyline.
Yeah. So I think once they do perfect it, they'll be able to use it in that way. Yeah.
Anyway, back to the match. 17 minutes. Second longest match of the night.
Yeah. Drew McIntyre getting the win, so CM Punk losing his first singles match back, which I think was the perfect choice. And as you can see by Raw, this definitely is not over between the two of these guys.
At all.
But Seth Rollins has got other things to contend with.
Yeah, man. Holy fucking shit, Big Bronson Reed.
I did not expect that.
Dude, that came
Who did?
Out of nowhere, and like 6 or 7?
6 or 7, yeah. Tsunamis, yeah.
Seth coughing up blood.
Yeah.
Like, I don't know. Like, that looked bad. Like,
it looked bad. Yeah, I know.
Either that's a really good blood packet, or, like, dude might have really, like fuck, man.
There. Yeah, but did not expect that. So I'm all for that. I'm all for seeing Big Bronson Reed getting a little shot in the main event scene there. I mean, he's impressive as fuck, and to be stuck in there with Seth Rollins, it's big. It's kind of a make or break situation for him, I think.
Yeah,
but the crowd responded really fucking well. So
and it's good. Yeah, they holy shit did they respond the way that intended.
Yeah.
That this was my other worry about Bronson Reed with being on Raw. You know, we talked about it before. One of our semi-viral reels that Sir King of Reels have posted was the all the big beefy man meat on Raw.
Yeah, exactly.
And it's good that he didn't get lost in the I'm big and mean and I should be getting shots, just like Braun Breaker is I'm big and mean and I should be getting shots.
Yeah.
I mean, Bronson Reed was just in that IC title race, you know, months ago, like right after he got to Raw.
Right, exactly, yeah.
So I guess he can. I mean, it's good to see them putting him somewhere and doing something.
Yeah,
and doing something on with Seth. I think that's fucking fantastic. Getting him involved in this mire.
Yeah.
Awesome. Fucking awesome.
Yeah, and then another thing, like obviously everyone wants to see CM Punk versus Seth Rollins, but this takes that once again. It holds that match off for some time once more because now Seth's got to contend with Bronson, and I'm sure once it comes to it again, CM Punk will probably be distracted away from Seth Rollins, and we'll be held off till WrestleMania, I'm sure, and it's going to be a great match when it eventually does come. But and before we do get to the next match, I just want to give a really quick shout out to fucking Odyssey Jones finally making his Raw debut.
Oh yeah, that happened.
Yeah.
Yes.
That was wild. Obviously, again, it looks like there's fractures within the New Day. It looks like Xavier Woods did not know that Odyssey Jones was going to be there. Kofi Kingston seems to like he enlisted him.
Yeah.
And another interesting thing is that Odyssey Jones was wearing a New Day shirt as well. So interesting.
So I mean they of course they're teasing this with
Karrion Kross
with Kross and Final Testament trying to get under their skin, and I'm glad they are, but I don't believe in any way that this is going to lead to a breakup of the New Day, for certain. Like I think they're going to tease it for a while, but they're not going that doesn't need to happen.
Yeah, it'd be interesting. It definitely adds a whole new element, bringing in Odyssey Jones and seeing where that goes. But holy fuck, was that impressive? He power slammed sidewalk slammed fucking Akam and Razor at the same time.
Yeah.
He lifted one of them up under his shoulder, under his arm, and then lifted the other one up while holding the other one. It's wild. So, yeah, I'll be intrigued to see where that goes with him as well.
Yeah. I don't know how this will play in. Obviously, Big E is still very active with WWE, like pre-show panels and stuff. So I don't know.
It'd be great to see him get involved in some fashion, but I don't think it's going to be in the ring.
Yeah, I don't know. Yeah, I still don't know what, there's no word if he still, I guess, definitively. But,
right, exactly. Next up, we can only hope. Exactly, yeah. Next up was, for me, my favorite match of the whole fucking night. I absolutely love this match. Just these guys beat the living piss out of each other, and I've never seen someone's chest bleed that much from a chop.
Yeah, dude, that was a straight up that was a chunk.
He busted his fucking chest wide open.
Yeah, I don't know how he even did that.
I know.
That's not supposed to happen.
But yeah, what a match, man. These guys really just went for it. And I think, you got to think about it. Gunther and Damian Priest are not a Cody Rhodes, CM Punk, Seth Rollins, Drew McIntyre, Roman Reigns. They're just below that tier. And I think this was them going out there going like, nah, we are in that tier. Like, this is their chance to put the world championship on the map and put themselves in that solidify themselves in that main event scene, and they fucking showed it too. Yeah,
this was another perfectly scripted story.
Yeah.
I'm totally fine with Gunther winning because of Judgment Day turn shenanigans. That's fine. It is beyond perfectly plausible that he could beat him one-on-one fairly. Was all of these matches, honestly, all of these matches in a way were extremely when it comes to, this was extremely balanced.
Yeah.
And anybody could have won, and either person could have won any of these matches, and
which is great, which is a good thing to have going into any show. Yeah.
Yep. But not anybody didn't win. Gunther won.
Yeah.
By technical submission. I love when you see it because it's not often that it shows up on the Wikipedia.
Yeah, that's true.
Result.
Yeah.
Technical submission. Fucking pass that motherfucker out.
Yep. And I loved it.
We haven't seen a sleeper hold.
No, win anything
since Brutus the Barber Beefcake.
Yeah, and here his world championship being won with a sleeper hold. Fucking brilliant. Yeah. And it's great because obviously on Raw last week we had Finn Balor in the same position with Gunther, and obviously Damian Priest made the save. And this time around, Priest was in the hold and Finn just stared at him until he passed out. So it was fucking really good, really well done. And
it was
good to
brutal,
see where this goes.
Brutal turn, brilliantly done.
Yeah.
New men's world heavyweight,
That's right.
men's heavyweight, men's world heavyweight champion.
Yep. And then the crescendo, another Bloodline Rules match for the Undisputed WWE Championship, Cody Rhodes versus Solo Sikoa. And boy fucking howdy, did I get exactly what I called.
You and I knew it all along. Just like with WrestleMania.
Just like WrestleMania.
It was
funny that.
It was precisely what we all knew.
Yeah.
What we'd all hoped. No, honestly, I'll be honest. I still think it was too early. I don't think it was necessary for him to come back. I mean, I'm glad. Yeah, I'm happy. I'm okay with it. But like, I'm not convinced. I'm not convinced it was the right decision.
I think it was simply because I think you had the feeling for his return was at fever pitch, and you always want to strike when the iron's hot, and I think this is when the iron was hot. Sometimes you can.
So I blame everybody else. I blame the entire internet community.
I think sometimes when you wait too long, it can fall on deaf ears. And I'm not saying Roman Reigns could have returned at any point and it would have been great, but
sure,
I think this is perfect because it lines up perfectly everything between now and WrestleMania. And
that's so far though. That's so
it's
long.
so far, yeah. And there's so much you can do between now and then. You've got Solo, you've got Jacob Fatu, you've got whatever dynamics going on with fucking Cody Rhodes and Roman Reigns. That's interesting in all by itself. We've got the return of Paul Heyman to happen. We've got the potential of Jey Uso get involved. Jimmy Uso needs to return. We've got Sami Zayn that can get involved.
And see that, but that's right there. That's my. Here's my problem. Here's the problem right now. We're already just talking about Roman Reigns. He's already overshadowed everything else in the match. He's overshadowed everything else on the pay-per-view.
I wouldn't say that.
I don't think SummerSlam. This card didn't need it.
Roman Reigns, no matter what show he returned on, would have overshadowed everything on that show, regardless of what it was.
Sure. So why not use it? So why not use it when you need something to overshadow it? You don't need it to over. You didn't need him.
Because I think you want
these big
moments for the big. He was never going to return at Bash in Berlin.
No, of course not.
Yeah.
It's not. Yeah, no.
It needs to happen at one of the big shows, and this is perfect.
Royal Rumble. Let the dude have a real break. I know. I mean,
because I think you need to aim for him versus Rock at WrestleMania, right? And if he returned at the Royal Rumble, what you want is a program between him and The Rock between the Royal Rumble and WrestleMania, because you need that lead up to be long. That's 4 months. What you need now is a good 4 months between him and Solo Sikoa. Because let's look, this Bloodline storyline has been going on for 3 to 4 years now, and they're dragging it out in a good way. And why not drag it out even more? Why if you bring Roman back at Royal Rumble, then you'd need to have a couple of months really quickly with Solo, and then you're moving on to The Rock. And then you're building that match up to 2 months. Now, bringing him back now, you've got 4 months, 4 or 5 months of Solo, and then you've got another 4 or 5 months with The Rock.
They could have done. I mean, they could have done they could have pulled the same thing that they did at Survivor Series. What if bringing him back at Survivor Series would have been the best? Here's how I wanted it to go down. I think it should have been Jimmy Uso that came in last, because Jimmy Uso was the first one to be taken out by Solo and this bloodline. Immediately.
Yeah.
And And that way you've got Cody, Owens, Orton, and Jimmy Uso, the only original Bloodline guy, still fighting this fight that they're, because Solo's Bloodline hasn't even done anything other than beat up Randy Orton and Kevin Owens and go after Cody Rhodes. Like, they haven't done anything else.
They've done the biggest thing
they could possibly.
They've done the biggest thing you could possibly do, and that is Solo's called himself the Tribal Chief.
Sure, I guess.
And I don't think it would be realistic to have Roman just let him call himself the Tribal Chief for another 6 months.
Yeah. I mean, I guess I'll see it out. I think it should have been Jimmy. I think Jimmy got overlooked in this.
I think he did, but I think there's probably a reason for that, and that's probably because he's not cleared to come back yet.
Maybe.
So
but I could have seen
you got to work with him. Plus, Roman Reigns ain't getting any younger. I want to see him as much as I can. I don't want him off my television for almost a year.
Yeah.
Like, you want him around as much as possible. Like, that's a whole like 10 months of his career that you're just wasting away. Like, you want to see him wrestle until he can't wrestle anymore. And I know it's on a very limited schedule with Roman Reigns, but I think having him around, and plus I want Solo to have his moment, and he's had his moment with Cody, which is great, but now he'll have his moment with Roman Reigns, and this storyline can go on for a good 4 or 5 months. And we know that the Bloodline can produce, well, they've produced the best storyline on television for the last 4 years, and they'll continue to do so. And Solo will now get a chance between here and Royal Rumble to prove himself, and then we've got The Rock coming in, I'm pretty sure, by the time WrestleMania rolls around. And which I'm sure will be another Bloodline Rules match, and then we're going to have every single fucking Samoan in the world getting involved in that match.
Yeah. I mean, like I said, I guess I'll keep watching.
You'll enjoy it.
I'll enjoy it.
I know because
I just hate being
You're
wrong.
a big Roman Reigns fan. I know for a fact that when his music hit, you fucking had a great time. So
I was certainly. I might not have been right, but I was certainly surprised
and entertained.
I was certainly entertained. Yeah. Speaking of entertained, the level at which I was entertained. What do you want to give this? I mean, also, by the way, 29 minutes and 10 seconds, Cody Rhodes did defeat Solo Sikoa by pinfall after Roman Reigns.
He did.
Did what he did. After all the people did what they did.
The dynamic now between Cody and Roman is fucking great. The way they looked at each other was brilliant acting. From both their parts. It's obvious. Fucking great.
Like you said, it's obvious this is Roman's return is not about the title right now. It's about Solo calling himself the head of the table, which is not. If it gets us to a Bloodline Civil War at War Games, I mean, I'll be happy. I want justice for Jimmy. Hashtag
Jimmy
justice for Jimmy.
Jimmy will get some justice. Jimmy will get some justice.
Hashtag justice for Jimmy.
I'm just intrigued if we're going to have Jay on Roman's side. That's the part I'm intrigued about, how we get to that point. Because getting Jay back involved with this storyline is obviously going to be great. But how do you get him back on the side of Roman after everything that happened between them?
That'll be Sammy's job. That's why and you've got a little bit of time so Sammy can take a break.
But then how do you get Sammy back on the side of Roman with everything that happened with them?
Because he's Sami Zayn and he forgives everybody. Look at how many times he forgave Kevin Owens for beating the shit out of him.
I guess so, but storytelling's different now. Everything needs to make sense. So, we'll see. Who knows? I mean, the same way Jey Uso redeemed himself. The good thing is no one knows, and that's fucking great because we're at
no clue.
We had spent so many years of wrestling where it's just like either one predictable or everything would get spoiled on fucking online before the show even happened. So
yeah,
it's good we're back in a stage now where we think Roman's going to come back, but we don't actually know if he is. So it's a good spot to be in pro wrestling. And with that, probably going to give this show a 19.
I got to give it I'm torn. I'm really torn. Without my own personal preferences aside, pre-SummerSlam RW Hellborn would have probably rated this a lower, but post-SummerSlam RW Hellborn, knew all along Roman Reigns was coming back.
Knew all along, yeah.
Knew all along. Post SummerSlam, RW Hellborn gives this a 19 as well. It was, everything was perfect. Everything was. There was nothing about this. The only and really, yeah, I think the only reason I'm giving it a 19 and not a 20 is. I think it should have been Jay. I just think it should have. I can't get over it, man. I can't get past it.
I'm not giving it a 20. Simply, I love the fucking show. I would be giving it a 19, but it's not the best show that I've ever fucking watched. It wasn't better than WrestleMania. That's for sure.
No, that's true. I'm giving it an 18. I got to give it an 18 then. I got to give it an 18.
That's fine.
Yeah.
It's still a fucking high score. So
it's still a high score. Yeah, it's still the highest rated SummerSlam. No, I'll give it a 19. I give it an unbiased 19. I give it a biased 15.
Wow. Jesus.
Listen, man, I did not. That's biased. That's heavily biased against.
I thought you would be chomping at the bit to see your tribal chief. I think your tribal chief would be severely disappointed in you right now. I don't think your tribal chief thinks you're acknowledging him enough.
I'm concerned for my tribal chief's health and well-being, and thought maybe it was just too soon.
He's fine. He wasn't even injured.
His heart was, his soul, his entire soul was injured. I mean, you're right. You're kind of right. He wasn't actually injured. He just got beat.
Yeah, he just got beat and walked away.
Yeah. Yeah.
Fuck this shit. I'm out.
You know what? If Roman Reigns, if the OTC is, I trust in our tribal chief. I trust in the OTC. If he feels that he was ready to come back and set things straight, then I have to trust the process. Did I actually think it was going to happen? No, 100,000%. I was absolutely certain he was not coming back, and I was surprised at that.
There you go. Also, side note, I did see someone when he came out with that OTC t-shirt. I was like, "What the fuck does that stand for?" And very quickly, I was like, "Original Tribal Chief." Okay, cool. But I did see someone online. They used the acronym to say "One Tough Cookie," which I fucking love.
It's just kind of funny because with the circle, Also, by the way, thank whatever you want to thank the art department for getting their heads out of their asses and making sure that his return shirt was graphically solid and not a piece of greatness on another level garbage. Sure. Dude, if he would have come back with shit merch, that would have been it. I would be on my way to HQ to fist fight their art department. So,
I did also notice that he came out to his orchestral entrance theme that he used at WrestleMania as well.
It was the added oomph entrance.
Yeah, the added entrance. Yeah.
Also, by the way, side note, once again, shout out to the art department. I don't know if he just cut the arms off himself or if that was an actual Judgment Day sleeveless hoodie that is available on WWEshop.com. I'm gonna find out after. What's his name? JD McDonough was wearing it.
Oh, really? He probably cut the sleeves off. Let's face it.
Man, let's look. I'm gonna look right now. All
right.
Shop.wwe.com.
I hope for the best. I hope for the best.
Let's see. Well, the OTC shirt is available. The OTC is available in a hoodie. It's available in a normal tank top. It's available.
Could you just buy the hoodie and take the sleeves off?
I'm probably gonna. Yeah. No, but see, the problem is that's a hoodie. That's hoodie material. What I have the Wreck Everyone and Leave. It's a sleeveless hooded T-shirt.
Oh,
and that's what they fucking need to bring back. And I don't understand why they're not doing it. Judgment Day. Let's look. Let's see where the Judgment Day apparel is. Sorry, your search for Judgment did not match any. Did I spell it right? Maybe it's. Let's look for Damian Priest stuff. See if it's in there. Nope. There has to be like actual
Judgment Day.
Judgment Day. There's New Day. There's Dirty Day. What?
Oh, I'm getting it.
Am I spelling it wrong?
It's Judgment.
Oh, I can't spell.
Yeah, you're adding an E right after the G.
Yeah, like isn't that how it's actually spelled?
I think it is. I think maybe they'd spell it differently for the faction. Maybe.
What? No, that doesn't make sense. I still don't get it. Well, you might have a whole different shop.
That's a bad T-shirt.
Holy shit, you're right. They've been spelling it Judg. Not actually. Has this been the whole time? It's been spelled
the whole time. Yeah.
I just now realized that they are spelling Judgment incorrectly.
Yeah.
Yeah. Oh, it is. It's meant. It's just an all-rise tie-dye pullover hoodie. It's just a regular hoodie, and he cut the sleeves off. Fuck you guys. You made me fucking think you were. Give me what I want. Give me what I want. Shop.com. Give me what I want.
I'm gonna send you this is a terrible fucking T-shirt right here.
Oh my god. What is it? Is it the Dirty Dom? White mullet shirt? Because that's actually fucking rad. This is excellent. This is excellent podcast material too. While we're just scrolling through.
But that's a terrible fucking T-shirt. That Judgment Day T-shirt, the one I just sent you. I linked it to you just now. It's like the front graphic isn't even in the middle of the T-shirt.
It's slightly to the side.
Yeah, and then there's like a weird splatter on the back.
What in the world?
Yeah, that's fucking terrible.
That's gotta be a misprint. Like that's gotta be a.
Well, they're selling it. That Dirty Dom T-shirt is fantastic, though.
No, hold on a second. I think.
Oh, I kind of want it.
I know that Dirty Dom. I think that might be a problem with their art. No, maybe I don't know.
No, it's for sale. I don't know. That's fucking.
No. What I'm saying is, I think the person that created the graphic for the shop shirt put the logo in wrong. Like that's not a picture of the actual shirt. That's a picture of the graphic of the shirt over top of their T-shirt template.
I sure fucking hope so. Let's put it that way.
Yeah, because I'm looking at a couple other ones, and I feel like
there's only one way to find out.
There's only one way to find out. And
you
got to buy that motherfucking thing. So fucking. I mean, it is pretty fucking cool.
The Dirty Dom one's great though.
But that's the graphic. That's also the artwork that's on the.
I just realized I sent you the Euroshop link, but whatever.
Oh,
same
okay.
thing.
I can't buy that stuff. Anyway,
fuck yeah.
Whew, so that's it for SummerSlam. Next week we're doing our top. So we're recording 2 episodes in one day right now. If this makes it into the cut, you'll know that I just said that. So we're going to be doing our top 12 face turns.
That's right.
Next week in 20 minutes. So that's next week. Next week's episode. Shout outs to Wikipedia. Support Wikipedia. Shout out to Al and 2K Games. 2K24. Start your legacy. Step into the story. Read the text from the website. Oh wait, not that. Experience WWE 2K24's bevy of spectacular modes, which includes a tribute to WrestleMania and 2K Showcase of the Immortals, My Rise, My Faction, My GM, and all new match styles like Guest Referee and Gauntlet. See what's new in the WWE 2K24's My Faction mode, where you can collect cards and build a faction featuring your favorite WWE superstars and legends from any era. And a season pass is back, baby! We mentioned that already. DLC 3, Pat McAfee Show Pack, featuring Pat McAfee, Ty Schmidt, Boston Connor, AJ Hawk, Darius Butler, and a football you can kick people in the back of the head with. It's available now.
Good job.
Thanks.
Nice.
Also, you can support us on Patreon, patreon.com/punchtalkwrestling. We've got some old episodes like our episode 0 and some other stuff up there. RW Rants, some random stuff. Tell us if you want us to put more stuff up there by telling us you want us to put more stuff up there on our social media accounts, Instagram and Threads at Punch Talk Wrestling, Facebook and TikTok at Punch Talk Wrestling, youtube.com/Punch Talk Wrestling, email us punchtalkwrestling@gmail.com.
If you didn't get it, we can find us pretty much anywhere at Punch Talk Wrestling.
You'll get us and anything and any CM Punk news.
Pretty much, yeah. I think that's... Are we done now?
Is that done? Yeah, I think that's it. I think that's probably the quickest we've gotten out of it.
I've just been perusing the shop since you've been doing the fucking...
Oh, all right. Let's end it and let's buy some stuff.
All right, cool. Bye.